Hey guys, what's up? So I just have this just arrived, and this is something I got off of eBay. And I begged the sellers always to please pack it with plenty of care. And it appears that they wrote, please handle with care, fragile. I call it fragile. All right, let's pray. Um, because my mailman, when he's on vacation, the sub likes to throw my boxes at my glass storm door. And I heard boom tonight. So I'm getting nervous, if you know what I mean. All right, so we got packing with some kind of cotton. Cotton's always good. And all right. Oh no. Oh no. I hate when sellers do this. They tape antiques and then the paint comes off. Oh, I'm praying. Let me take this off and see if this destroyed this. Oh God. Okay, and you're wondering, what the hell do I have here? Okay, so this is a very, very old Atomizer perfume bottle, and it's known as a travel piston pump perfume atomizer bottle. And how these worked, I'm just going to show you the mechanisms. You can see it's really, really well made. It's very, very heavy, probably chrome plated or nickel plated. And so you have this little piece right here, this piston, actually. And you pump it up and down, and the perfume would come out through, well, it's blocked off right now, but it would come out through this little piece, and let's just unscrew it. And that was nifty that they had it hanging by a chain, the little cap, so you wouldn't lose it. And it would come out of this little nozzle. Now, the seller was really dumb, and I'm sorry, he did a great job of packing, but by taping it, he ended up ruining a little bit of it. A little bit of the nickel plating came off. That's a note to you guys. If you sell on eBay, please never tape antiques down. It could destroy them. All right, so we see that this is coated in old dried out perfume and possibly some kind of talc of some sort. I don't know. And if you look, the glass is actually beautiful. I believe this to be Baccarat French crystal. And this was probably made circa 1900 to about 1925. These were very popular from 1900 to about the 1940s. The most of them that you'll find being sold are generally from the 1900 time frame to about 1920s. I do not know for sure when exactly this one was made, but I suspect this is an earlier, like 1900 to 1910 version. You can see this beautiful workmanship in here with this design. These are very, very heavy. And on the top, the button is just really, really unique and pretty. Okay, so there's no mark. Sometimes if you look in here, you'll see a maker's mark or initials of the maker, but mostly these were made in actually France. Usually if you find glass, it's made in France also. So usually there was a company that made the mechanism separately, like a metalsmith, and then French makers would generally sell the glass to a perfume company who bought the two items and put them together. So there you go. Look at this workmanship. Now, this is filthy dirty. The bottom has like a white powder-like substance in there. Let's try to look in there. You can see it's very cloudy. That could be one of two things. It could be sick glass syndrome, and yes, that happens to antiques, or it could just be some encrusted schmutz in there. So I'm going to try to clean this out really fast, and I'll be back. Okay, so it cleaned up really well, and I used Brasso on it, and I took a paintbrush with dish Dawn soap, and I, cleaned out the inside, and this is definitely beautiful, beautiful French crystal made by Baccarat. Look at the cut work in it. Look at how that glimmers and shines. And yeah, so this cleaned up pretty well. Now, most of these were made from about 1900 to about 1940. Most of the ones you'll find in thrift shops, flea markets, antique shops, and eBay and the internet will be from about 1900 to 1920s, somewhere around there. These can sell for quite a bit of money, depending upon which glassmaker made them. Now, if it was made by one of the better companies, these will sell between the $150 to $500 price range. Now, whenever I find them on eBay for $75 or less, I get really excited and do the happy dance. Sometimes sellers will find them and know nothing about them whatsoever and get them for like really cheap at like a thrift shop, put them on eBay with a buy it now. Whenever I see them for $75 or less, I grab them. Now, they don't come on the market too often. For some reason, I never really seem to find them. I've been collecting for about 3 years now, and only every, like, I'm going to say every 6 months, I might see three. And that's it. In my price range, that is. Pretty much when they are being sold and the dealer does know what they are, they're going to go for much higher than I'm willing to pay. So that's why I'm patient. I hold on. When I do see one I really want and the price is like 150 or higher, I don't spend my money. I wait because I know eventually something will come along on eBay and I'll end up getting it with a dealer not knowing what the heck this is. Most people who don't know anything about vintage or antique perfume bottles will take a look at this and be befuddled by it. What is this? And they have no clue. They don't know how to Google this type of bottle because they don't know the type word, which is like a piston pump atomizer. So they won't find out what it is. And that's when I do the happy dance. So I got this one. Whoa. Whew. That just scared me. I got this one for really cheap. I think it was, I did a video about how much I paid for it, like how I scored it, and I did the buy it now on it. I think it was like under $60. And so I scored big on this one because it is Baccarat glass. And it's so cool. Now, what I was afraid of was I was afraid that it was going to have sick glass syndrome. When you saw that white powder in there, that always frightens me. Once in a while, I'll find an old bottle on the internet and I'll buy it. There we go again. This one just wants to like keep falling. And I'll buy it thinking that it's just old perfume stuck in there or powder. And then guess what? It's sick glass syndrome. So I was afraid this had sick glass syndrome. And sick glass syndrome is basically like whatever substance was in there etched into the glass and you'll never get it out. I've tried everything. I've tried baking soda mixed with vinegar. I tried a buffing wheel from a Dremel. I've tried dish soap, toothbrushes, scrubbing brushes, you name it, I probably tried it. It's not coming out. So that's why I was like, oh God, please don't let this have sick glass syndrome. If it does, this like has zero value at all. So here's another Baccarat glass. It's a ruby cut to clear. This one is my largest one. Now I have a bunch of these in my collection. I'm just showing you a few. This is probably Bohemian. Most of these were made in France, and the metalsmiths that made the piston pump atomizers were French as well. Once in a while, you do find an English one or an American one. Here's an American one, and it has some American writing. Patent pending. Yeah, patent pending, and I think it says Walter Sam's Chicago. And it says oil here. Quite interesting. Now, these generally, the ones with the fancy button tops were the earlier ones I noticed. Once in a while, will find markings on the inside telling you who made it, but pretty much you won't know the exact decade these were made. Again, probably from 1900 to about 1930, sometimes the 1940s, but it's more of a 1900 to the 1920s type of deal. They made the same design for like several decades and all different glass makers, such as mostly French, by the way, and Bohemian, like Moser, or another one by Gebruder. What was it called? Brothers, goodness gracious, I forgot the name of it. Brothers something. And it was another Czechoslovakian glassmaker or Bohemian glassmaker. But, Bruder, Brudr, something. I'll probably remember what it is later and then just put like a little caption in here. But for the most part, most of these were French glass, all different companies such as St. Louis, Baccarat, trying to think of another type of glassmaker, Nancy, all sorts of really, really high upper end echelon type of glass companies. For the most part, these were not cheap when they came out. Generally, a big bottle like this would have probably been about $100 to $125. This big one was probably very, very expensive, probably $200 to $300 when it came out. And these little, smaller ones were probably about anywhere between $50, $60 when they came out, but that was quite a lot of money back in that time frame. So pretty much a lady, before like perfumes became commercialized, where you got the bottle along with the perfume, a lady would have one of these bottles, go to the chemist or the pharmacist and get their perfumes filled into the bottles, and they would actually continue to reuse these bottles over and over, which was really quite neat. And that's why they still are around today, pretty much for their beauty and their actual function. You can actually still use these, which is quite wonderful. I've never tried, but then again, you can still reuse them. So once again, thank you for watching another one of my videos, and I will see you guys all soon. So long.